the fears about this or fears about that. That is our sense of reality on a conscious and particularly subconscious level. So what's that going to do? It's going to manifest the thought fields representing that fear, and then we are going to observe those thought fields into holographic reality. We are going to experience through this method and process the fear that we have. You know, how many people say, you know how I'm frightened of so-and-so, you know, you'll never guess. You've experienced it. Oh yeah, of course you have. So we are drawing to us all the things that are in our subconscious reality, including what we fear, manifestly what we fear, because it's so powerful. And the more that we take on these mind-manipulating statements about, oh, is it an orange alert today for terrorists, and oh, there might be a dirty bomb, oh my goodness me, what's happening with the economy, oh my goodness me, am I going to have a job next week, all this stuff. If we take it on, it's going to become our reality, because we create the illusion of what we think and what we are in our inner selves. But in the same way, if we put out a different sense of reality, if instead of being fearful about things, we let the fear go, because there is no fear, it's an illusion, it's a creation of our minds. If we put out love, if we put out lack of fear, if we put out oneness, the balance of all things, if we put out optimism, I know it's going to be fine, not I think, oh I hope it's going to be all right, I know, we will create that reality. Money and all these things that, you know, people like in their lives and what have you, or whatever their desires are, whatever that form they may take, they are illusions. They're as much an illusion as not fulfilling that desire, not fulfilling that ambition. That's another illusion. So we are in control of whether we manifest the illusion of manifesting what we want, or whether we manifest an illusion of manifesting failing to get what we want. They're both illusions. We're in control of which one we have. And I think that's pretty much covers what was in the gap when the tapes went wrong at Brixton. And so let's go back there now. We're going to pick up this very point, because when I was in that altered state in Brazil, this voice was telling me about the illusory nature of the emotions that we feel and the pain that we manifest. And once we realize they're illusions, we can maybe do something about them. Anyway, let's go back, pick that up at Brixton, and hope you're enjoying it. Thanks for watching. When I was in that oneness state in Brazil, this voice said to me, do you feel any pain here? Do you feel any worries here? Do you feel any emotional trauma here? No, no, no. No, because they're all illusions created by the mind and the manipulation of the mind. We live in bloody paradise. We've just freaking forgotten. So when you put out love, in its true sense, not I love you darling, saw you down the disco, but a love that can say, hey, despite all that I've talked about today, you can say, hey, I love you, George Bush. I love you, Tony Blair. Hey, if I don't love you and I don't love all these other expressions of oneness, I can't love myself. How can I? Because I am you and you are me. This is not about shooting Tony Blair. This is not about stockpiling weapons for the big shootout. It's just another polarity that suits the matrix perfectly. We need to change reality, and then all the stuff we don't like will demanifest from our reality when we cease to create it. This is why you don't fight for peace, you peace for peace. If we want a peaceful world, let's be peaceful. I heard Tony Blair talking about Afghanistan or something. He says, sometimes you have to fight for peace. Pratt. What? Coming to an end now, I'm so bloody hungry, it must be. What kind of happens is this, it seems to me, eh? Hey, is that right? Is that a Birmingham accent out there? I love the Birmingham accent. They are, mate. Anyway, what kind of happens is we come into this reality, and when we hold a connection with oneness, we have everything we need to express that in this world, this level dimension of experience. We have eyes and ears information that gives us a fix on the world around us, and we have the connection with a multidimensional infinite self that gives us a level through which we can see and experience this world and judge its reality and our behavior and everything. However, that is the last thing the Matrix wants. Therefore, what happens is, because of this process that I've been talking about, particularly right at the start of creating the norms and suppressing differences, when we come into this dimension to experience this reality, once we kind of wake up and say, hey, I'm here then, what happens is we start to get programmed. Once you program one generation of parents, and that happened a long time ago, to accept the reality you want them to accept, with no malevolence most of the time anyway, with no malevolence at all, they will pass on that programming to their children as they grow up, and they'll start to program them with the same reality. And children soon learn that going with the consensus is actually a lot less hassle than challenging the consensus. And so they start to they start to realize that it's much better to go with the general belief than to challenge it. So what happens is this fear starts to disconnect us, because fear generation is what we're supposed to be with this Illuminati. It starts to disconnect us from oneness, and we start to have the illusion of division. And we actually forget the hell who we are. And so once we're there, we are in the Matrix. The Matrix has us. And, you know, I was in the old city of Jerusalem in 1993, I think it was. And I was near that big mosque with in Temple Mount, and I'm watching these Muslim kids playing soccer. Lovely little kids playing soccer. And they all seem to be called Mohammed. It's, if you have 11 Mohammeds at Arsenal, it'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Come here, Mohammed, watch which Mohammed, what are you talking about, They're lovely kids. And I was watching them, and it occurred to me, because I've never been to the old city of Jerusalem. It's a very small area within this big wall. But even so, they've cut it into quarters, because we don't want to bloody live together, do we? I mean, crikey, they'll all want to do it. There's a Jewish quarter and a Christian quarter, an Armenian quarter and an Arab quarter. And I'm watching these kids play football, and it just occurred to me that by that age, about, 5, 6, 7, 8, they already have a view of themselves, life, God, and Jewish people. If that consciousness had become incarnate, literally in the old city of Jerusalem's case, 5 minutes walk down the road in the Jewish quarter or the Christian quarter, they would at that very same age have a completely different view of themselves, God, life, and Arab people. And the only difference between the two is the programming that consciousness had gone through in the early formative lives of its earthly experience. And so this is how we're programmed into beliefs and division, and forgetting that we're all one consciousness. We are disconnected from oneness in our minds by the belief that we are just a disconnected individual with no power. Know thyself. When we know who we really are, we become completely different entities. We look at the world in a completely different way. Not small me, I can't do anything, I'm just Joe Public. It's, hey, I'm all that exists, I can do anything. Don't think you are, know you are. I've more and more understood the difference. It's like, oh, I think I'm going to do it. I know I'm going to do it. It is my reality. There can be no other outcome. It's my reality. It's my universe. I control my universe. It will happen. I know it. I know it. Not I think it. Completely different state of being. And don't, remember the Matrix? Stop trying to hit me and just hit me. Again, in this process, I'm trying to hit you. In the process of trying to hit you, that's what you're doing. You're trying to hit him. It's a completely different state just to hit.
not in that, and in every other case. Don't try